Every ranking needs rules, otherwise it's just personal opinion. So, for today's countdown of the top 5 favorite shotguns of United States Special Forces, we created a clear scoring system built on 3 real variables that actually matter in combat. The first is power, the raw destructive capability and stopping force of each weapon. The second is reliability, meaning how well it performs under extreme conditions like mud, sand, water, or sudden stress. And the third is influence, a measure of how much the shotgun shaped tactics, doctrine, and the way Special Forces operate. Each category gets a rating from 1 to 3 stars. This system guarantees a fair and revealing comparison, and by the end of this video you'll see exactly why each shotgun earned its place. Coming in at number 5 is the Mossberg 500. A weapon born in the early 1960s, the Mossberg 500 quickly became one of the most widely used pump-action shotguns in the United States. Its design is simple, rugged, and affordable, which is why not only hunters, but also military support elements and some special operations teams turned to it when they needed something predictable and easy to maintain. In Vietnam and later conflicts, small teams preferred pump actions in swampy and jungle conditions, where mud and humidity could ruin more complicated systems. The Mossberg 500 typically carries 5 to 8 rounds in a tubular magazine and fires the powerful 12-gauge shell. In terms of power, it earns 2 stars. The 12-gauge delivers brutal short-range stopping force, but as a manual pump action, it cannot match the rate of fire of semi-automatic designs. Reliability gets 2 stars as well because the 500 is famous for keeping on working under abuse, though some early variants were less robust than heavy military spec models. Influence is where it scores 1 star. The 500 filled a practical niche rather than driving doctrine, but for small teams on austere patrols, it was a trusted companion. With a total of 5 stars, the Mossberg 500 takes the 5th spot. When operators needed an honest workhorse that would survive being dragged through a river and still fire, the Mossberg was there. Moving up to number 4, we find the Remington 870. In production since 1950, with millions built, the Remington 870 is a staple of American firearms history. What sets it apart is a steel receiver and a very smooth pump action that allows fast follow-up shots, an essential trait when clearing rooms or delivering breaching blasts. The 870 became ubiquitous in police ranks and found steady use in military units as a breaching tool and close-quarters fighter. Special operations teams and Army breaching specialists often used 870 variants fitted with short barrels, heat shields, and purpose-built breaching rounds that could defeat locks and hinges with a single well-placed blast. For power, it receives 2 stars because it is still the dependable 12-gauge, but limited by manual cycling. Reliability is 3 stars. The 870 can take thousands of rounds and keep functioning with minimal maintenance, a quality that makes it a favorite in dirty, unforgiving environments. Influence is 1 star because while it filled a critical and frequent role, it didn't revolutionize tactics. That gives the Remington 870 a total of 6 stars. For many operators, the 870 was the go-to when a door needed to come down immediately. Coming in at number 3 is the Ithaca 37, a design with deep roots and proven battlefield service. The Ithaca 37. Trench gun and its variants trace their lineage back to combat use in World War II and later conflicts, and the model's bottom-ejecting design and robust wooden stock made it a favorite with Marine Corps units and other close combat teams. The Ithaca's reputation was forged in environments where reliability and simplicity could mean life or death, and it saw continued limited use in specialized roles for decades. In power, it rates 2 stars, because its 12-gauge rounds were lethal at short range, though not magically different from other 12-gauge pump designs. Reliability earns 3 stars. The Ithaca's ruggedness and ability to tolerate harsh conditions earned it trust from operators on extended deployments. Influence receives 2 stars since its trench gun heritage shaped close-quarters expectations and influenced later military shotgun designs and loadouts. That sums to 7 stars. The Ithaca 37 remains a testament to designs that endured because they worked. Coming in at number 2 is the Benelli M4, also known in U.S. service as the M Taneum 14. This semi-automatic combat shotgun marked a turning point when the U.S. Marine Corps formally adopted it in 1999 after rigorous trials. The Benelli's Argo auto-regulating gas system allowed it to chamber a wide range of ammunition types without manual adjustments, giving Marine breachers and urban operators a huge advantage when speed and versatility were vital. The M4 holds 7 rounds in a typical configuration and delivers rapid, controllable follow-up shots that shorten engagement times in tight corridors and on ships. For power, it earns 3 stars. The sheer volume of effective 12-gauge impact when fired rapidly is decisive in close quarters. Reliability is rated 3 stars here because the M4 proved remarkably durable in tough trials and service with Marine special elements who relied on it in shipboarding and urban assault scenarios. Influence is 2 stars. The Benelli M4 altered expectations about what a combat shotgun could do and influenced procurement decisions across joint units. That gives the M4 a total of 8 stars. In the hands of trained Force Recon, Marine Special Teams, and Joint Breaching Squads, the Benelli M4 shortened the window between detection and dominance. Before we reveal the number 1 spot, let's make a quick deal. If you agree with our ranking, let us know by hitting like and subscribing, but if you would build it differently, share your version down in the comments. Now, get ready, because number 1 is something else entirely. Finally, 1 is the Mossberg 590A1. This is a shotgun built to military specification, and it earned its place through a combination of real-world adoption, battlefield-proven reliability, and direct influence on military small arms choices. The 590A1 was improved specifically for the U.S. military with a heavy steel receiver, reinforced magazine tube, and heat shield options that made it an ideal tool for repeated breaching and close-quarters combat. The Marine Corps and multiple expeditionary elements and special task units have fielded 590A1 configurations, where a rugged, soldier-proof shotgun was required. In terms of power, it scores 3 stars. With appropriate 12-gauge loads, the 590A1 delivers the brutal stopping power expected at short ranges. Reliability is 3 stars because this model was designed to take abuse, to be dragged through mud, and still cycle when everything else has failed. Influence also earns 3 stars because the 590A1's military specification drove doctrine for breaching in close combat shotgun loads and influenced how other services configured their shotguns for harsh environments. That gives it the maximum of 9 stars. For Special Forces and Marines, who needed a tool they could trust in the worst conditions, the 590A1 became the reference point. And that wraps up our list. But before we sign off, I want to hear from you. How would you build this top 5? Would you change the order? Is there a shotgun we left out that you think absolutely deserves a spot? Drop your version of the ranking down in the comments. If you've ever trained with or fired any of these, share your experience too. What stood out to you? Was it the handling, the reliability, or maybe a limitation that caught you off guard? Your input can really help others who are curious about these weapons. Here's a fun challenge. Pick one category: power, reliability, or influence, and tell us which shotgun you think wins it. Let's build a mini community ranking right here in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more deep dive comparisons. And feel free to suggest what criteria we should use in the next ranking. Thanks for watching. Now it's your turn. Let's talk shotguns in the comments. See you in the next countdown.